you just keep complaining, you keep worrying, and you end up not even completing those tasks, because most of the time you have spent them getting distracted, and you're being on the phone trying to talk to a family or a friend that, oh, this task is overwhelming, I can't complete them. You know, those times that you're spending on the phone, you could have scheduled, you could have gone through your plan and completed those things, or you're just sat there and you keep asking yourself, now what? Where do I start from? You know, so all you want to do is break those overwhelming tasks into smaller chunks. Set them within a scheduled plan. And importantly, you have to be rigid. Do you ever find yourself in a situation where you cannot concentrate? You're seated at maybe a desk, you're trying to complete a goal or complete a task, and you're sitting there asking yourself, now what? Because you cannot focus. Or actually, in these times, we are faced with seamless, endless distractions. The social media is there. We're trying to complete a task. We're getting notifications. You know, we have parental responsibilities as well as lots of commitments that gets us distracted, and you have realized that you cannot concentrate. You cannot focus on completing a task straight away. It's time to start learning the ways that you can adopt to, or you can apply when you're trying to concentrate. If this is you, I want you to hang on. And I am Bola Adeyeye Omishade, and this is the Bola Adeyeye Omishade show. It's a community where we thrive. We want to be the best version of ourselves. I want you to hang on if you found yourself in a situation where you cannot concentrate, because some of the powerful secrets I will share here today. You're welcome to be part of our community, and for you to do that, you want to subscribe. If you find anything valuable from this episode, you want to subscribe as well, and click on the notification button so that you get notifications when episodes are published and when they will be premiered. Okay, so like I said earlier, in this age and time, we are in that time where the distraction is so much. There are lots of sad news going on the news and the community. For those living in England, for example, it started with the Brexit and then COVID. Well, of course, COVID, which is still very much available, can be distracting because there are lots of sad circumstances surrounding COVID, And then we thought we were just getting a hang of COVID and the war between Ukraine and Russia. All those can be distracting. All those can be worrying. You realize that you cannot concentrate. Or is it your family commitments? Especially with mothers. I'm talking to mothers this time. You want to be a mom. You want to be a full-time worker. You want to, that superwoman. And the society where we are, we're just trained to just get along, and you realize that you're not completing something, you're not completing a task successfully. We're going to try to achieve you focusing and concentrating on completing that task. And just like me giving the scenario of a mother trying to multitask, one of the secrets to getting focused and to concentrate is do not try to multitask. Because you see, it's like you having 10 hands at the same time. And there is a saying that I think you need 23 minutes to refocus when you are distracted. So do not try to multitask when you're trying to complete a task or you're trying to achieve a goal. You need to take it one at a time. when you are focused on one goal, you want to complete that goal before you move on to the next. Don't try to maybe for example, you're studying and you're receiving a phone call. The time where you have taken your mind off what you were reading and picking up that phone call, you want to, the moment you're finished with the call, you need to actually bring your reorganize your brain. You have to transition into focusing on that study or where you are, because you probably talked about something over the phone that might be worrying, that might need you to maybe complete something else, which of course multitasking is, and that's another task onto the 2 other tasks you're doing. So do not try to multitask. If you're a mother, you have lots of commitments. You want to start disciplining yourself. You want to be rigid to doing one thing at a time. And I've always had people, and I have said it several times here, that you need to create a schedule. And I really don't know how powerful, how useful that, I don't know how to explain how useful that is. I'll be sharing with you, okay, some of the benefits of creating a schedule. Now, you want to complete this set of tasks, or you have this set of goals. I'm very good with using my Google Calendar, and in most cases I know that I always go to my work calendar. So my work calendar is always it's my friend. It just helps me achieve those things when I need to, and I just block them off. So what you need to do is, you have this set of tasks that you want to complete. You want to create a schedule, because create a schedule of what you want to achieve at certain times. And you see, it just helps you establish a routine. And one very good thing is, the moment you are completing any goal, or you're achieving any task, you see the progression, and that just automatically motivates you that you are making progress. You see, because when you are looking at, you go back to, maybe you set a calendar, you set a schedule on your calendar from 9 to 5, or maybe from 6 to 7:30, I'll get the children ready. From 7:30 to maybe 8, I'll take them to school, and then maybe by 12 p.m. you go back to your calendar and see that you have successfully been able to do this thing. You see, there's something they call the dopamine. The dopamine chemicals just triggers, and you have the sense of accomplishment. You have the sense that you have been able to complete something successfully. So please, if you really want to focus and not get distracted, one of the first things you do is to create a schedule. And of course, a lot of people talk about rituals. I have listened to podcasts, I've been a part of community where they say the very rich people, the multimillionaire, they have like rituals. Some of them will wake up. To be honest, I don't do that, because I find it easy to concentrate when I want to. And I have my own strategies, which of course, some of which I'm sharing with you. So they have rituals. Some of them will wake up in the morning and take a walk. Some of them will wake up in the morning and will take time to sit down and reflect, So before you start doing those stuff, have a ritual, and then your brain begins to understand that you are trying to, you're in the process of achieving a goal. It could be maybe setting the scene. If it's a case where you want to study, you want to set the scene to study. You want to prepare the environment, maybe getting your book, preparing yourself a cup of tea, And in the process of doing that, your brain begins to get used to the fact that you are transitioning from doing one thing to getting focused. I'll give you an example of kids. Maybe when it's their birthday, or maybe when there's a festive season, it's Christmas, you see that everything around them is all about Christmas. When you talk about anything, it's Christmas. They are getting ready for that Christmas day, or they are getting ready for that festive season or even if it's their birthday, you see them start counting 2 nights more, because everything they talk about that festive season that they are looking forward to. So in the process of you trying to set the scene of completing that goal, is it the resources that you will need to complete the goal? You are getting them ready. Your brain starts to understand that it is time for you to focus. And this also applies to your family and friends. When they see that you're trying to set the scene, even your kids will know that it is time to focus. You could, and when they see that you have that ritual, automatically everyone knows that you don't want any disturbance at this time. Your body, just the way people would know that you don't want disturbance, your body would also understand that it is time to focus, and your brain needs to focus. Okay, one very big secret as well is decorating the environment where you always would like to focus in a way that will inspire you. We need inspiration, and I can't really emphasize on how much the way our environment looks, how much it will inspire you. I have had times where my house is not in the, of course, we sometimes we don't organize our rooms and all that, and I think of late, everywhere was just in a mess, and my husband tidied up. And when I walked into the room and everywhere was looking well, I felt like, oh, it sort of inspired me to to do more, to focus, because the environment was looking good. It was, it was beautiful, it was organized. So if the environment where you're trying to focus is not organized, if the environment where you're trying to focus is not inspiring, there's nothing that inspires you in that environment, you would find it very hard to focus. So what am I trying to say? Decorate the place where you're trying to focus in a way that will set the scene for you. It could be motivational talks or things that you like to do. You could paste them around the place. I used to have a friend that when she's studying, she had all this text, that when she's in that place, if she looks up, she's looking at them, and it's just telling her that she needs to complete this task. And not just completing this task, she needs to complete it successfully and come out in flying colors. So you can also do that. Ensure that the environment that you are trying to focus is inspiring for you, because your body, as you are human, your body would appreciate good things. Even the dopamine, like I always say, it does a lot of things. It just sends signals to your brain, and then you just want to concentrate and achieve that goal, or complete that task that you're trying to achieve. You need free time. You need free time. Because in some cases, you might be trying to do something that you're not very happy with, something that is not your passion. It's just that it is a responsibility that you really have to do. So, but then in the process of trying to do it, you want to take a break, because you want to take a break to do that little bit, even if it's 5 minutes break, even if it is 10 minutes break, you want to do that thing that you like to do, so that it's sort of like rewarding yourself. When you reward yourself, you are happy. You've worked hard for a long time, and you buy something very special. If this is you feel really good that, oh yes, I have worked hard and I deserve this. So you deserve breaks when you're trying to concentrate, when you're trying to focus, because it just re-energizes you, and it also gives you the opportunity to reflect on those things that you have completed successfully. And I'm going to be talking more about that on how, when you're reflecting as well. But then take breaks. If you're trying to complete a goal for, let's say, 30 minutes, 25 minutes out of that time, you have to be rigid, okay, and focus on that thing. You want to get rid of your phones, get rid of your notifications, concentrate for 25 minutes, and maybe you can set an alarm or something, so that after 25 minutes, you know that it's time for you to take a break. Because some of these goals that we have or these tasks we are trying to complete might be quite overwhelming. But if you're setting like short times and having break in between, you realize that you are progressing. You are, there is an increment going on in you completing the task, and when you go back to it, you just have this motivation that you're making progress, you're doing it. And in fact, in some cases you might be oblivious about the progress you're making, you see, because when you have a schedule, you've created a plan, and then you created that plan in such a way where you're completing them in tiny little bits, and you're having some free time in between, and then you're going back to look at what you have done or the things you have completed in the past. You will be motivated to go on. I remember I said, I think in a couple of our last video, that when you're looking at the bigger outcome, what you're trying to achieve from what you go, it sort of motivates you. So when you're going back to look at what the things that you have done, it automatically you're reminded that you are closer to the outcome. You're closer to what the big picture is going to be like, you know. You're closer to that reward that you are going to get from achieving the completing the task. It could be a case of, maybe if I'm able to complete everything I want to do by 6 p.m., I'm going to have the rest of the day for myself, you know, or maybe just one or two other times to look after the kids if you've got some of them, you know. So you're looking forward to that time where you're not keyed down to any task, or you don't have the burden of completing any task. But you see, as humans, if you don't go through a consistent process or achieving, you just keep complaining, you keep worrying, and you end up not even completing those tasks, because most of the time you have spent them getting distracted, and you have been on the phone trying to talk to a family or a friend that, oh, this task is overwhelming, I can't complete them. You know, those times that you're spending on the phone, you could have scheduled, you could have gone through your plan and completed those things, or you're just sat there and you keep asking yourself, now what? Where do I start from? You know, so all you want to do is break those overwhelming tasks into smaller chunks. Set them within a scheduled plan. And importantly, you have to be rigid, because for you to concentrate, for you to focus, you need to discipline yourself. You need to discipline yourself. You need to tell yourself that it is time to focus. And when you're trying to discipline yourself, it means that you have to get rid of every distraction. It is very hard to say. I used to have a friend that while she was in the uni, all through the teaching block, she goes off Instagram. And the moment the teaching block is over, the first thing she does is she just signs in back to Instagram. You know, so she logs out, deletes the app. But the moment the teaching block is over, she downloads it again, and then she logs back in. You know, so you remember that, okay, I like to go to Instagram, you know, but the only time when I can go to Instagram is when I am on holiday. And the teaching block is going to be for just 3 months. 3 months, I know I can catch up on a lot of things. I can look at my friends and families, you know, when it's my free time. And that comes with being very rigid. And like I said, I have been in communities, or I have listened to some of these people who are doing well, who I aspire to be like, and they have said that for you to get to that place where you want to be, you have to be disciplined. It comes with a lot of discipline. It comes with you establishing certain routine. So all these I have shared with you, you can make them a routine. You can make them something that you would adopt when you're trying to concentrate. Because at the end of the day, if you cannot concentrate, you realize that you are behind. And you don't want to be behind. You realize that the already overwhelming task begins to pile up, and it gets to a point where you feel like, oh, this is not me, you know. And importantly, like I always say, you want to find yourself in the right community. For you to concentrate, you need people that will be your cheerleaders to be around you. You need people in a community that every one of you think alike. And that would help you concentrate. It is a top secret. It works like magic. Because when you are in a community of people that cheers you up, you're in a community of people that inspire you, you're in a community of people where every one of you think alike, you will be motivated to complete your goals because you all are going towards the same direction, and they are, of course, maybe sharing tips and secrets with you. The next thing you want to do is you want to get on to doing or completing that thing that they have shared with you. So being in the right community matters a lot. If it's a case where you are a student, you want to be in the library with your friends that you all share, you all have like minds. You want to achieve good grades. If it's a case where you are a full-time full-time working mom, you want to be a case where you find yourself in a community where women who are home full-time and are working. You want to be a working mom. You want to be in their environment because they are sharing some of their successful secrets that they have applied. You want to find yourself in that community. If it's a case where maybe it's a kind of career, there are lots of communities that you can join where you have people that you share like minds. You want to find yourself in those communities because it is proven that you would get motivated, you would get inspired, because by the time that they're sharing their stories, they're sharing their weaknesses, they're sharing their strengths, it is an opportunity for you to learn and for you to reflect on the things that you are doing, how you can improve or what you need to change. And if you apply all these things, I believe that you will be able to achieve concentrating. You will be able to focus on those things that you need to focus on. So, back to what the topic for today is. Are you finding it very hard to concentrate? The first thing you need to do is do not multitask. Another thing you need to do is you need to create a ritual. Create a ritual like setting the environment, ensuring that you are preparing your brain that it is time to concentrate. It is time to focus. Decorate the environment where you want to focus in a way that will inspire you. It is very important. Find yourself in the right community. Create a schedule, create a plan, because it sort of helps you establish a routine. Creating a plan would help you go back and see the progression. If you feel a sense of accomplishment, you feel that sense that you're achieving those things that you want to achieve. You have to be disciplined as well. You really have to be disciplined. You really have to say to yourself, it is time to focus. It is time to complete this goal. I need to strictly follow the plan that I have created. Find yourself in the right community where every one of you think like you have like minds. Community where you have people that would cheer you up, where you have cheerleaders, people that you aspire to be like. Find yourself in those right community and look at the big outcome, look at the big picture, look at where you're going to, the reward of what you're doing. Always use that to motivate you, and your body, your brain will be prepared to focus anytime you're trying to complete that task that will help you achieve that outcome. If you have found value, you think you have learned one or two things from this video, you think that you have learned things that you can take along and you can apply, I want you to give it a thumbs up. I want you to share it with somebody that you think would also learn from this. If you think that I have said one thing or the other that you agree with, I want you to leave it in the comment. Leave it in the comment or share your thoughts or some other thing that you have applied in the past that you think others will find very useful. I want you to leave them in the comment, because just the way I am sharing my thoughts with you, other people might be an opportunity for other people to learn those things that you have applied. If you have any questions for me, the email is on the screen. Please send me an email with those questions and I would answer. And yes, if it's the first time you're been in this community, if you have not followed us on our social media pages, please do that. The usernames are on the screen. I share some inspirational quotes. I also share when our episodes and the topic, I also share those on our social media pages. So do not forget to follow us. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. And yes, I will see you again same time next week. Thanks for joining. Bye.